The one you feed. This means you have a choice. Every single day, every single moment, you are making a decision about which wolf gets your attention, your energy, your belief. When you wake up in the morning and immediately scroll through social media, comparing your life to everyone else's highlight reel, feeling that familiar sting of inadequacy, you're feeding a wolf. When you replay that conversation where someone disrespected you, rehearsing what you should have said, letting resentment build a fortress in your chest, you're feeding a wolf. When you tell yourself you're not good enough, smart enough, worthy enough to pursue that dream, you're feeding a wolf. But here's the beautiful, terrifying truth: you're also feeding a wolf when you choose gratitude over complaint. When you offer kindness to someone who doesn't deserve it. When you decide to see possibility instead of limitation. When you forgive, not because the other person earned it, but because you refuse to carry that weight anymore. Most people go through life never realizing they're in control of this battle. They think their emotions happen to them, that their thoughts are involuntary, that who they are is some fixed entity carved in stone by genetics and childhood experiences. They're passengers in their own lives, watching helplessly as one wolf or the other takes the wheel and drives them toward destinations they never consciously chose. But consciousness, true awareness, changes everything. When you wake up to the reality that you are not your thoughts, you are the one observing your thoughts, you suddenly have power. You become the grandfather, not the confused grandson. You become the one who decides. This doesn't mean the battle gets easier. The evil wolf doesn't disappear just because you've decided to feed the good one. In fact, sometimes it gets louder, more desperate, more vicious in its attempts to regain control. That voice of self-doubt, of fear, of cynicism, it will fight for its survival. Because every time you choose differently, every time you feed the good wolf, you're starving the bad one. And a starving wolf doesn't go quietly. There will be days when feeding the good wolf feels impossible. When life has beaten you down so thoroughly that gratitude seems like a cruel joke. When someone has hurt you so deeply that forgiveness feels like surrender. When you've failed so spectacularly that self-compassion seems like self-delusion. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments when the battle is most fierce, when the choice matters most. Because here's what the Cherokee wisdom teaches us: consistency is everything. It's not about one grand gesture, one moment of enlightenment, one perfect day where you finally get it right.